Good afternoon. My name is John Johnson. I am the founder and president of the ALF For Sale.com and also CEO of the Senior Living Developers Council. ALF For Sale is a one-stop shop for all things ALF related. We buy, sell assisted living facilities, medical clinics, physician groups, home health agencies. But the true nature of what we do is we offer the Senior Living Developers Council. This is an expert board membership council of individual experts in their individual arenas. Today, we have Gil Livingstone with Livestone Consulting. Gil is an exceptional top of the food chain architect, and he has a vast amount of experience. We're very honored to have him with us today. Gil, welcome. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Gil Livingstone, the founder and CEO of Livestone Consulting. I established it in 2009. Livestone Consulting has grown to be a Florida-based but internationally recognized firm. We specialize in architectural design, construction consulting, and of course, architectural forensic investigations. Taking all of those specialties then lean very much towards medical design and ALFs. My journey into architecture encompasses configuration, design, troubleshooting, problem solving, and goes back to my early days at 4 when I was playing with Lego that, of course, my father bought for me. Although my lifeline passion is doing, well, architecture, I find the greatest fulfillment in doing it is doing things like ALFs, because you're truly helping the community and the elderly who put us where we are in the first place. Livestone Consulting, we excel in crafting structures and environments that genuinely cater to the end users. In other words, if you're going to live in one of my buildings, you're going to know it's one of my buildings and you're going to be more than happy to be there. Right from the beginning, we prioritize active listening with our clients. We delve deeper to establish the fundamental aspects of what they need. Remember, when you design something as an architect, you're designing it for your clients, not for ourselves. And when you're doing an ALF, you're designing it for an elder generation in general, or people with special needs. So our client interactions, they continue throughout the design process. We assess, determine, and use the most suitable materials, techniques, technologies to follow up on what we're designing. Now, please understand, in architectural design, keeping up in today's age on the new technologies, it saves a lot of time, money, and greatly increases the comfort and usability of the buildings. So we put that same approach towards our forensics expertise as well as the investigations we do. At Livestone, we're dedicated to improving and enriching the lives of individuals because we treat them like family. Basically, we want the experience that someone has not to be stressful and, oh my goodness, what are we doing? But to be something they enjoy, so that when we actually finish their building, they're going, wow, this is fantastic. And when you're talking in an ALF, which is where you've got people from generally all walks of life that need help, but are, at least on a standard ALF, are mentally there, you need more than just a room and a couch. You have to do something which makes them be happy to be alive and be there. And that's one of the things we focus on doing. We actively seek to make a positive impact whenever and wherever we can. What's the phrase? We strive to create physical environments that are conducive to living one's best life. To put it bluntly, if I'm not willing to live there, it's not coming out of my office. That's how it works. People who own ALFs and who use ALFs, especially families, they want their families to be somewhere where they can go and go, oh, thank God, mom and dad are in a good place. Or if it's a special needs family member, thank God, Joe is in a good place. Whatever it happens to be, you have to be in an environment that works well for you and works, most of all, well for the people you are doing it for. So that's Livestone in a nutshell. We very much focus on quality of work. Obviously, the use of modern technologies and the knowledge of the arena if you will, is extremely important in accomplishing those goals, especially when you create a new ALF. And right now we have two under construction, 4 on the drawing boards, and I don't know how many we've got that are done in the past. The good thing is my clients like to keep coming back. And when you go to a building as an architect and you go, oh, thank God these people are liking where they are and loving what they're doing, that's a huge plus. Because to be blunt, anybody can stick a McDonald's down the road. It's not difficult. But doing something which improves someone's quality of life, that's the most important thing in the world. And I feel very fortunate and blessed that this is something we can do, and we strive to do it at all times.
Fantastic. Gil, some of the buildings, you are upwards of 20 personally structured ALFs. And they are beautiful, they're magnificent, and there is a high quality of life. I would like to ask you one question. I know that you've been around for a long time. What do you see as one of the major changes in the architectural drawings since COVID? What are the biggest changes that you've seen?
That's actually a really good question. It's not just so much a change in the drawings as a change in the needs. When COVID hurt us, and I don't just mean that, oh, somebody got sick. I mean, it hurt us as a society and made us learn how to take care of the people who need it to a much greater degree in general than we have been. In ALFs, that translates into the need to isolate wings, the need to be able to isolate people in case, God forbid, something like this happens again, and yet still function for the entire building as a whole. What that means is that you better be able to give non-contaminated service across the board to all aspects of an ALF. So if someone in one wing is sick, you've got to be able to basically separate out that part of the wing. Don't go stick them in a hospital if you can't help it. So they've got to be able to be taken care of there while not getting everybody else sick. What that has done with the ALFs is, number one, it's increased our use of technology for a lot of the isolation protocols that are needed. It's increased the use of security because, well, obvious reasons. But one of the greatest things it's done is increase the use of communication systems to assist when something happens with making sure that everybody who needs to know what's going on in the moment can do so. So like our newest ALFs, not only do we have speakers in every room, but we have communications in every room so that it's not a matter of picking up a phone call. There's an emergency button on the wall that if, God forbid, you need help, here's the button. It's redundant systems throughout the units and throughout the building in general. Florida law has made it more difficult, especially since COVID, on the level of quality required in the buildings. If a Cat 4 hurricane hits your building better bloody well be able to handle it. It has to be. Okay, the
Absolutely.
necessity of taking care of those people. And as soon as COVID hit and following COVID, the requirements under the new building codes have gotten more and more stringent. That doesn't mean just, okay, it's a strong building. It also means that you've got backup generators and the technology with the backups so that when something goes wrong, it automatically flips over and your people are taken care of. It means your environmental controls don't just shut down. There's better ways of making sure that people in the building, not only that, okay, they've got some air conditioning, so they're not roasting and not in pain, but if necessary, we can shut off and isolate parts of the building from other parts of the building while keeping the parts that are isolated cool, but not mixing everything together. So if anything, COVID has caused a complication, if you will, in the architecture. Now, we accomplish most of it through the use of high levels technology. If you do it through building, you increase your building size minimum 20%. Yeah. It's one of the factors that hits. So you don't do it that way. You do some things to the building, but most of what you do, you accomplish through use of new materials and new technologies. That way, if you're going to build an ALF and you've got a 3-acre site and you want to do, let's say, well, one we've got going right now, a 240-bed building, you can do that without having to make the building even larger, because 240 beds, you're talking 75,000 square feet. Add another 20% to that, and all of a sudden that's 90,000 square feet. It's cost prohibitive to do it by spreading the building out physically more. It's cost effective to use the new technologies and new materials to make everything function together to still give you the same result and allow you to complete the project without going millions over budget. And that obviously nowadays with prices and everything else is a huge factor, because most ALFs, if you're going minimum cost per square foot, you're looking at $300, $250 a square foot if it's as basic as it can possibly get. But most of them are about 300 plus a square foot. So think about it, 1,000 square feet is $300,000 more. So if you've got to increase a building by 15,000 square feet to meet your modern requirements, all of a sudden you've gone from 300,000 to 4.5 million more. You can't do that. It's a very good way to, well, harm your clients and make things unaffordable. Whereas by use of new technologies, we can do what needs done, the problem is solved. The primary difference is, and we find this a lot, that clients now need us to spend more time making sure everything is done right during construction. Now, that's one of the things we automatically do, but the days of having the architects not bothering to come out every week to look at your site and make sure things are done right and not properly answering all the questions your contractor is going to need answers, those days are gone. You've got to have a true team working. And my favorite part about doing these is not really the design, because once you have it designed, great, it's cool, now let's build the thing, is the whole team working together, because you get everybody working together and you get a phenomenal project. And the reality of it is, you know, if it wasn't for our parents, grandparents, in some cases, great grandparents, our lives would be nowhere near as good as they are. I like the idea of giving back and making sure that they're secure as they age. You know, aging in place is a good thing. They may not be able to take care of themselves in their homes anymore, but there's no reason they can't have a really comfortable and good life in a properly done ALF. So, and John, I know I'm getting a little out there, but it's my passion. I enjoy it. So
I understand. I truly understand. That's why you're at the top of the food chain. You know, that's why we were excited that you would have the time to present some information to us. And most importantly, as being a member on the Senior Living Developers Council, your forensic talent is statewide recognized, and there's just so much more coming down the pipe. You know, we're in the #1 state for senior living. Right here in the Tampa Bay region is probably the hottest corridor in the state of Florida, and we've got the top level expertise that sit on our board, you know, in different sections. So we're excited about being able to offer our services. Gil, one last thing, if you don't mind, why don't you give them direct information how they can contact Livestone Consulting?
well, if you're seeing this video within a few weeks, then it means the new website is not done yet. But you can always reach us via Gil, G-I-L, at Livestone, Livestone, consulting.com, or bluntly, the office number is 813-345-2612. Once we talk, every single one of our clients gets my cell phone number and their project manager cell phone number. I have obviously an entire team. Nobody does all the things that are done by themselves. And I'm very fortunate to have a wonderful team. So communications, let's put this as the most important thing, John. Communications between your team and your client, there's nothing more important. So, you know, I often have clients calling me late in the evening. My wife isn't so fond of it, but answer 8 hours now or 8 hours from now could be the difference of thousands and thousands of dollars. So you take care of your clients. And
Absolutely.
luckily it works.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate your time. Once again, Gil, thank you very much. Where you have an exceptional history and continued successes in the future. I'd like to thank everybody for taking their time to watch. Once again, my name is John Johnson. I am the president of ALFforsale.com. I can be reached at john@ALFforsale.com. And we also offer the Senior Living Developers Council, where we offer construction, architecture, brokerage, legal entities as well. We can do 1031 exchanges. So we can do the clinical side. We have AK Consultants, healthcare with mergers and acquisitions that sits on our board as well. So we are in fact a one-stop shop. Any owners that are interested in building new construction or buying existing assisted living facilities, feel free to reach out to us. You can reach out through the website. I'm going to say one development opportunity that we can offer right now, Gil, is we have a land development joint venture opportunity in Pasco County, 200 plus bed ALF with space for medical clinics and offices. And you can reach us directly for more information. And once again, we appreciate everybody's time and we look forward to seeing you guys next week. Thank you very much.